beautiful people. We are here to go over Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Welcome in, James, for the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. The link is in the description of the video. Please click it. Subscribe to both channels. We hope.
Yes, please, and thank you.
Anywho, y'all, I was annoyed. One, they spelled coastal wrong. That was not a typo. That's how it was spelled on the cable. James, I had to make sure that people know I can spell. That's what it said on the cable box, coastal. And I could have swore there was an A in between that O and that S. But
it was definitely an A in between that O and that S. But, you know, once again, this is MTV placing a show with ignorant ass black people. So, of course, we're gonna put the title of the thing just as ignorant, just to show that we really don't give a fuck about black people at the end of the day.
I cannot. Anywho, welcome in, to Shani. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. We both appreciate you. Shani is my Gemini twin, and then James is my, I guess I'll call it my Taurus twin because I was born on the cusp. But welcome in. We appreciate you for being here. Let's get into this episode, y'all. BAE COSTAL season 12, episode 27. This couple's trip is a joke because none of these couples are anything to aspire and or look up to. None of these couples are anything to respect or want at all. I don't understand this, the dynamic right now with this episode, but we're going to get into it. So Zane, Jock, and Kirk are all sitting down and they discuss the things that happened, the previous evening. And I was really annoyed with Ashley saying that Carly tried to sleep with Zane. Carly never tried to sleep with Zane. No one has ever even confirmed this. All we know is that she offered a room key to him and he claimed he did not come into the room. And she says that this was for a party and she invited a bunch of people and invited his girl too. So, and she showed receipts. So it's like, once you show the receipt, please stop trying to make some fetch happen, as they would say. Hello, oh so best. Ain't you supposed to be working? You're supposed to be working.
Ooh.
He's at the end of his shift, but still, be good, spousal unit. Anywho, y'all. So I was just annoyed because I'm like, Ashley, is it like a badge of honor for Carly Red to want Zane? Like, why do you care so much? She's married now, chasing after her man in the airport. You guys are the least of her worries and concerns. Ashley is thirsty and I want her and Zane off this show, and this episode further confirmed it for me. Now,
I want her to cut this shit out.
She's not.
I want her to stop. I want her to stop this because, ma'am, if I have to look at one more episode looking at Zane and putting this perspective in my head of what may or may not have happened, I am going to scream.
Not scream.
Because, like, I don't understand why she keep trying to push this on us. Ma'am, let me be clear. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Even if he looked like what he looked like then, I don't believe it. Don't nobody want his fun-sized ass but you.
Not fun-sized. That kid died.
And some thirsty ass lady who needs $20 in a sandwich. So I'm not trying to sit up here and go here with you. Like, oh my God, let it go.
It's annoying. Thank you. I think I'll play James's voice. I wish I could record that every time she say it. If we just have a boom box playing for her, let it go, please. Let it go, Ashley. We tired. Shani says because they have nothing else to talk about but this corny storyline. They don't, because the stuff they have stuff to talk about. Ashley and Zane. They don't want to talk to us about it though. Like the fact that they broke as hell. Okay, they don't want to talk about that. Which would likely make them more interesting and relatable if they came on real.
I mean, for real, Carly Red's first season, she still had her 1997 BMW. Come on now, it's for real. Y'all, come on. Show us the real shit.
Zoe Brinks, she came on this show homeless.
Yes.
I mean.
And we have all the most respect because we all have been in hard times.
Yeah,
so, come on.
True. That is true, but it annoyed the crap out of, I think we're all equally annoyed with Ashley, but everybody tells Zane that he was wrong. And this is where, he claims he will apologize, which annoyed me. Cause it's like when your wife is like, hey babe, you did too much. You might need to apologize. no, I'm not doing that. And she knew to just let it go. Okay, I respect that. But then when the whole cast tells him to apologize and people looking at him like he a problem, now he's okay to do it. It looks like to me that you respect the opinions of others more than the opinion of your wife. And that's a problem, sir. I know that people may be like, oh, Mrs., you're looking at it too deep. Well, hello, the name is not Mrs. for a reason. I'm somebody's wife. And I wish the fuck I would be like, babe, you wrong. You need to get that in order and apologize. And he'd be like, no, I'm gonna stand on business. And then a bunch of random motherfuckers say it. And suddenly he ready to listen? No. To me, that shows that Zane does not respect his wife as a person or as his wife. And you are married. Yes, it is that damn deep. It just did.
Absolutely.
It
I
just
couldn't have
did.
said it better myself. It is absolutely that. So, but the problem that also, once again, is that she's grasping at straws here because nobody believes this shit. So it's like, what else could we do? And it's like, it is playing with our intelligence. The fact that they're bringing this around the group and we're still talking about this, it's like, oh my God.
Why does shit? He does look like a baby Stevie J cross between a sloth and a ferret.
Yeah, he do. He do.
Especially how he smiles and holds his face. Ferrets are illegal here in California, but for y'all in other states, go look at a ferret. You'll see it.
My sister has one, and I tell you, it's the ugliest shit I've ever seen in my life.
They're kind of cute.
Girl, no, they are not. Them things is ugly as hell. I cannot do it. I tell my sister, get that shit away from me every time.
You know, years ago when I was a manager at a pet store, somebody where I worked, we accepted people who were abandoning pets, right? And we would work with shelters and all of that. But ferrets in California, for this crazy ass reason, people are not allowed to have them here as pets. You can go to another state and bring them in, but you can only bring one. Anywho, long story short, I called the health department about this damn ferret. Do you know that they escorted me in hazmat suits from the store to the damn animal shelter and did the most to make sure that that ferret left California? Apparently, they attacked or killed off all the rats and smaller species, bugs and stuff, and it impacted the ecosystem. I said, what kind of shit is that? A ferret. So not only are they not fun to look at, them motherfuckers are shifty. I'm just saying. They escape. Don't trust ferrets, y'all. Fun story. It's true. I bet your sister will say, oh my God, it's not in the cage. They be escaping.
She lets it run around free like that. So it's like, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
That's why I don't visit her as often, because
she thinks she Eliza Thornberry.
Okay, for real, because ain't no way in hell. Like, girl, when I tell you I can't stand to look at that thing, like, seriously.
I cannot. All right, we got off topic, y'all. I apologize, but didn't shit else happen really with these people?
It didn't. Just this is one issue that has been pushed around for the first 30 minutes of the episode. It was like, what the fuck? Why do we need to talk about this?
It really was. And that was annoying as hell. Now we move on to Carly Red and her issues with Tilo, who we know recently, I just sent this to James. Because he does the like pop culture gossip.
Yeah, and I'm going to let y'all know right on Mrs. Best channel, and as well, I'm going to make a community announcement on my channel. I am not talking about that.
There's nothing to talk about. Everything was sent and completed. Like what I sent you was the actual court documents, but I sent it to James to always see, like, in case he wants to do it or needs content or something. However, I now see why the headlines and the court documents and the restraining order and the divorce and all of that crazy. And she's divorced, by the way, already. I'm like, how did she get divorced so damn fast?
Because the judge already know the shit don't even need to have any mediation or court. The judge knows she be bullshitting. So he be like, give me that damn paper. Give it to the clerk. He's trying to give it to the clerk and file and she done. That's exactly how that shit work. I'm telling y'all, that's exactly how that shit work.
Oh my God.
I can see him now. Give me that damn paper. Every time you turn around, here you is. Like every time, this is the 5th time I done signed some shit for you. Here, I ain't signed no more.
You know, it's funny. She used the same lawyer again. That
I know she did. I looked at his name. I looked it up.
Randy Kessler. He is making money. Okay. I said all the black attorneys in Atlanta, and that's who y'all go to? The hell?
Isn't he Portia's attorney too?
Yes, that's what I just said. He was Portia's attorney for her first and second marriage. He was Nene's attorney for when she divorced Greg. I believe he worked with probably almost every reality star that we've come across. So I'm like, I know that man is getting paid. Just laughing. Look at these niggas getting married. Right. It's not working. Like, okay. He has been getting paid. I believe he represented Deshaun as well. That's true. He said, "Look at these Negroes. Just he is. You know he ain't ready. He getting his money."
He is with that girl. You just killed me with that one because I was thinking that in my head. And you said,
"Listen, if I get a divorce, honestly, I would find somebody like Bose from Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like, I want somebody who's comfortable in corporate America, white corporate America, who's black, because sometimes you need your own kind to help you deal with the shenanigans of some of these fools. So okay, but Carly is not married to this man anymore, and we see why. But here's what the beef was. So she ran off to the airport to chase after him because he tried to leave the trip. The reason that Tilo wanted to leave the trip is because he caught Carly recording him. It sounds like recording him in his hotel room. Why are you recording your man? Like, if I'm recording my man, he knows I'm recording him. I'm not gonna lie, for those who follow me on social media, I do sometimes record him if it's like the cat be sleeping on his face sometimes, like all these weird positions, things like that. I'll record that, but I'll tag him so he's aware. Carly is recording this man for God knows what. I guess for evidence for her future court date. I don't know, but she's recording this man, and she claims that the reason she's recording him is because she has trust issues and PTSD. And it really pisses me off how fucking loose people like to use and how people like to self-diagnose themselves with PTSD. I work in mental health. I'm also someone who's been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm not going to get into why. That's not why I'm on YouTube. However, it bothers me, makes every bit of my tooth itch on all directions when people like to throw that out there. I do think that Carly Red has PTSD. I just don't think she's gotten an official diagnosis from no therapist or doctor for it. But she claims that this is why she was recording him. And they recorded her in the airport, in the terminal, right where you would get on the plane. I'm like, how's she even getting there without a ticket? Because usually you can't get past the baggage claim. I'm like, wait, what is going on? How did you even get there without a ticket? But she's in the airport begging him to stay. And my thing is, if you have a beef with your spouse that's so bad on a couple's trip that he wants to go home, I would have been like, well, I'm going to come home with you or something. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to stay, but I'm also not going to make my partner stay just so that we can be smiling in the faces and faking the funk around a bunch of motherfuckers we barely know. Right? I'm just, maybe I think differently. But Kendra made sure everybody knew what was going on, trying to act like, even though she dated my ex, I'm going to be supportive. Kendra, you ain't supportive of shit. And that's why your man doing you the way he doing you. Because you didn't have to tell every single person that what went on with that FaceTime call. You did not have to do that. But how you felt about her in the airport begging for Tilo, begging for a man she could have birthed.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to keep it moving. The group ends up going swimming. And I was surprised to see everybody willing to get into the ocean and to be dealing with their wigs and salt water. I think that everybody was bold. Let me catch the comments, though, before we move forward. You're not getting a divorce. Don't even put that out there. You and Twist husband to do it just fine. Spirit fingers for you, right? Not the spirit fingers. I'm not getting a divorce.
All that keeping me up. I'm just playing.
I am not getting a divorce. Yes. Knowing her, she bought a ticket just to get through security. Listen, I hope.
She already had a ticket on retainer.
That's funny as hell. Sure, she said she had She had the bed. That man has better choices. She knows she got him by luck. She had to beg. I see what you're saying. I see. Carly is getting to an age where she's not primo real estate, I'll say. Shani said the way she was doing all that fast talking on the phone about, I don't know why he left. Stop lying. You know why he left. Of course she knows why he left. That's why I'm like, why are you begging this man to stay on the couples trip? And you don't even trust the other couples enough to tell them the real reason why he left. So, Carly is warped. She makes no sense. The bitch that went and says, I get so tired of all these wigs. I really want some of these women to wear their real hair. I don't think so we know Rashida does from time to time, but aside from her, we know Amy Luciani does because she's actually doing a hair ad for wearing her actual hair on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. But other than that, I don't know. They're never going to do that. Carly is my age. The fuck? She act like she 30 plus. Listen, people my age, because I'm 32, we don't all act like this. Now, there's some of us that do. But we don't all act like this. I'm not chasing my man through the airport. You want to go to the airport, go.
You go. Yeah, I'm not going to do that either. First of all, I ain't going to make no fool out of myself for someone who got me. Like, I get what she was doing was weird, y'all. It was weird. It was strange. It was like, what are you doing? But at the end of the day, if you want to bounce because of that, go ahead, because it means that there's a bigger issue here. So go ahead and bounce. I got to work. I'll see you when I get on. That's how I feel. Because I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to drive in no car for no 2 hours chasing you. I'm just not going to do
it. That's bold to do anyway. Risky to be doing in another country too, especially Mexico, because they will pull you over for nothing out there. They will pull you over for absolute nothing. But everyone does go swimming, and Ashley apologizes to the group for the drama because she feels like her and Zane started a lot of drama, which they did. She insists on making herself believe that Carly Red wants Zane. And, Zane is just problematic and coming at Rayface as if he dated one of his side pieces or something. None of it made sense. But she blamed it on the tequila. And I'm going to just keep it a buck. In real life, people who get drunk and do too much start crying, even if it's tears of joy, or people who get drunk and do too much anyway. I don't drink with them ever again. Me and James got a mutual friend like that. I cut the bitch off entirely. I said, I don't need to drink with you. You do too much over these men. I don't want to deal with it. If you do all of that when drinking, no. But okay, blame it on the tequila. Just blame it on the tequila.
I'm like, man, a drunk mind speaks sober thoughts, and don't nobody, but I didn't believe that for a second. I think you looking for a reason for your relationship to have wrong in his, detriment. And I feel like that's messed up in a way because you chose to stay with him, regardless of what he may or may not have did with Carly Red or any other woman for that matter. You chose to stay in it. And I think, and as I said, time and time again, I feel like the reason you staying with him is because you think he's finna pop off again. I think that's the only reason why you staying and putting up with what you putting up with, because ain't no way in hell. So that's why I'm like, she can go somewhere with this. I didn't believe that. When she was talking, I said, girl, shut up. It's too late.
Listen, it's this. You barely want Zane.
Exactly. Thank you, Shani. We here. We here. That's exactly what it is. You barely want that man, but you want to hang on just in case, because you don't want no other woman coming if he finally gets something, you don't want no other woman claiming it.
That's all it is. But Miss they would have said, I do not drink. I'm turned up enough. I don't like being out of character at all. Now that I'm in my 30s, I have more and more friends that have stopped drinking. I have some that are probably going to need to hit an AA meeting. And then I have some that probably a small, like 3 friends that probably going to need some help one day. But then for the most part, all of us don't drink. I recently don't stop drinking to where I'm have a glass of wine or something at home. Now I only drink if I'm social. It has to be an actual event, not just out to eat, or I need to be on vacation somewhere. Other than that, even then, it's like hangovers hit differently when you older. I'll be scared if I'm gonna get one or not. So I haven't really been drinking too much. But I'm also a pothead.
I said after I got back from Florida, I said I was going to take a break from drinking. And I
Mm.
have. It's been a little bit about a year now since I've had a drink.
Well,
So
when you were in Florida, you were out damn near every weekend
every weekend,
drinking.
it was every Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday, depending on the activity. I was in them streets. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a nice little break from drinking. I didn't had enough alcohol consumption, and God was definitely carrying me because I don't know how I made it home.
Listen,
So
there's been some nights like that. I remember I had a girls trip in Vegas years ago and I was drunk and I had to, one of my friends who I don't talk to no more, she was flipping out about something, some boy. It was New Year's in Vegas and we were in Planet Hollywood and she attracted security who attracted police. I said, oh Lord, they tried to take her little ass to jail. So I'm drunk trying to reason with the police. Like, just leave it alone. The officer looked at me, all I remember. He said, listen, you're clearly drunk, ma'am, and you can handle yourself. Pick new sets of friends. I said, oh, that cop read me for filth. I said,
okay,
well,
for
damn.
real. Damn, I feel attacked and I wasn't even there.
He told me
Right,
friends.
damn, I wasn't even. Do I know the friend? Like shit.
Oh, no. You don't. You
Good,
don't.
because
It's
I was
actually
like, I
one of
felt attacked.
No, this is one of Leona's friends. Somebody she met running around the jungle. But
Oh,
I
okay.
said, oh no. And Leona not even friends with that girl no more. And she watched these live, so she knows she's not even friends with that girl no more. But we both talked about that. We said, oh no. And Leona was funny. When they put her in the cuffs, she said, absolutely not. And grabbed my hand and left. We left. She said, nope. I said, well, damn, don't you want to know where she going? She said, it's Vegas. Ain't many places she can go. We'll find her. I'm leaving. I said, well, damn.
Oh Lord, that is so funny. Oh my God, I'm over here
Oh,
crying.
Lord.
Damn.
Hot mess, y'all. Hot mess. This is why I've calmed down because them hoes don't know how to act. Shani said she stopped a few years ago. It's too much. It's too much. Y'all, my 20s was James was inside. I was not. I was in Arizona to see him. I was on airplanes, clubs, parties.
I know she was always gone somewhere, and I'm like, girl, damn.
I like to party. Hey, I'm a Gemini. We're a fun time. We're charismatic. After everybody goes surfing on this trip, y'all, Bambi mentions Ray Face, who is her man, who today she's engaged to, posting her for the first time on social media. And she says that it went viral. We don't really know him. It more so went viral because you made us aware that you were
Yeah, I
posted.
was gonna
But
say you posted
okay,
it on social media, and I felt like all of the blog outlets was tagging Scrappy just to see what he would say. So
they were, they
yeah.
were, they
Mm-hmm.
absolutely were. So I'm like, long story short, it goes viral, and she says that she's been attacked for dating. Says she's been called an absentee parent. Here's the thing: I don't like when people do that. He got a divorce, had to have his mama and his auntie help him get his credit right so he could get a house. Why couldn't they help him do that when he was married? And then secondly, she was with Scrappy. She was faithful to Scrappy. Bambi may have started off as a side chick to Scrappy, yes. But when she became his wife, to our knowledge and to his knowledge, she was faithful. So if she chooses to move on, so what? Why are people demonizing her? Because she's on vacation. But this man was in the club week after week on social media, making babies, quite literally in threesomes. Just had a baby with a bitch he don't even know, and nobody's attacking him. This man never even paid child support in full for his oldest daughter. So it's interesting that the public would come for her, but then Bambi also has a skewed thought process, so she could only be speaking about negative comments she had. It may not have been as frequent. But hey, live your life. I don't have an issue with Bambi this season. I don't like Bambi because all the men that she gets, she starts out as a side chick first, and then she get mad when she get cheated on. And it's like, sis, if you just get with someone available, fix your karma. Maybe this won't happen. But I don't like how Scrap can do the worst of the worst and deal with less heat than she can because she's a woman. I don't like that part, I'll say. Shani said, girl, I was on the Disney cruise doing things with the Disney crew. I don't need to drink no more. Wait, what? You know when you read something?
I was not ready for that.
I'm just reading. That was just auto reading. And then my brain processed it. I said, wait a second, not the crew. Let me find out about the Disney crew. Was you on the Disney Wish? I'm a cruise. I love cruises, y'all. I want to know which ship. Not with the crew. Oh, God.
Well, sometimes some of them be fine, though. Sometimes they do. It depends on what they look like in the. I was on Instagram and I was looking at some of the models. I said, no, some of them be fine. Like my single days, I definitely would have been on that cruise.
I can't stand you. I want to go on a Virgin cruise, Virgin Voyages with my husband. I'm just trying to figure out when, because I looked and they go to Bermuda. That's a whole nother thing. Let me not plan vacations on the internet. Anywho, you guys, right. I'm not discussing Ashley and Zane anymore. I know that another scene happened with them. I'm not going over it no more with these people. But everybody ends up discussing Yandy and Rashida's issues. And Yandy does not think that they should have any further issues. She also doesn't think that they need to discuss it. This is why they were friends, because Yandy moves the same way Rashida does whenever there's a beef. I don't want to talk about it. I'm done. And then you leave all this underlying energy. So we'll come back to that because we know that this does become an issue later on. Now, Tilo comes to see Mendices, which lets us know, oh, the little man stayed. And this is where Tilo mentions, and he gave us more detail than Carly ever did. Okay, so he says that somebody is just honking downstairs. I'm ready to go out the window and shut the fuck up.
I know, I just heard it this first time. I said, what is that noise?
And these windows are soundproofed. It's a brand new building. So if I hear that and they just honking, and now I see the person coming up to them is on a damn crutch. How are you honking at somebody with the crutch? Get your ass out and help them. Anywho, I live right by Bart, y'all, so I see things. Apologies. And who basically Tilo and Carly Red were arguing because of air tags. I guess she has air tags on him. She's got cameras in the house on the inside and the outside of the house. He essentially describes living under surveillance, which is not how anyone should feel in their home. Your home should be your sanctuary of safety and peace. And this woman is just recording. And I'm like, what the hell is this about? So Carly comes and Yandy asks what she needs to move forward. And she says something interesting. She says she needs to know that Tilo is not cheating on her anymore. And I'm like, what?
Not anymore.
So this is where it's revealed, which she's kind of been alluding to, that he was cheating on her during the engagement, it sounds like they were fucking around. And then she caught him cheating and he was like, I'll marry you. That's what it sounds like happened. And she held him to that standard. Do you sense anything different that may have happened? Because to me, what I hear is she did do too much.
No, I feel like you're trying to have precautionary tales when it comes to this man, Carly. And I feel like you too old for this shit. You too old for this. First of all, you need somebody your own fucking age. Let's start there. There are plenty of men in shape that you can get that actually have common sense. But the problem is you don't want to be old. So you get these young ass men who play and who out in these streets and shit. And then you want to be their mama sitting up there watching their every move and making sure they don't do the wrong thing when they fall into the temptation any goddamn way. Don't nobody have time for that. Like, get you somebody your age that can order off the senior citizens menu at Denny's as well with you. Y'all can get 3 fluffy pancakes and some side sausage and call it a day. Like, you don't have to keep doing this. This is your fault. I blame her. So
yeah, because she's old enough to know better. And I think that a lot of times men are looked at like, oh, you're a predator for dating someone so much younger. I look at her the same way. This is weird to me. This man is younger than her daughter.
Yes.
That to me is sick. So Carly needs to not date nobody, but we know she's gonna keep doing crazy stuff. But he chose to stay with her even through it. And she was whispering in his ear, I'm gonna give you the best sex tonight. So you could tell there's no depth to her. It seems like she uses sex as a way to get through relationships. That's just what I caught. But I hope Carly grows and figures things out. Now, Zayn was weird as hell. They get some face painting to represent is the Dia de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead in Mexican heritage. We had to learn about it, myself and James. California it was Mexico. As quiet as that part is kept. Yep. So huge Hispanic population here. They incorporated in learning and things like that. So I am familiar with the holiday they were celebrating, and I was annoyed with Zayn. I look crazy. I'm like, what did you take? What is wrong with you? He seemed like he took something. How you say crazy and stuff? I'm loco. And I'm just like, you're a fucking clown. A clown that is vertically challenged. Okay? That is what he is. He annoys the crap out of me. So he ends up sitting next to Bambi and her dude Ray, and he says it's awkward. He feels ignored, all these crazy things. He does end up apologizing to break the ice. Now, Bambi says it was a half-assed apology. He apologized. Wait, are you going to accept it or not?
Right, because it was like,
you got what
you can get. With men like him, take what you can get. Hell, you know what he's talking about, so just take it. Shit.
I mean, if you... I'm looking at Bambi
I'm just like, just take it so he can shut the hell up. Like, just sometimes y'all have to do that in life. Sometimes you just got to take it for the team and just so they shut up about it. Like, because I don't want to hear this anymore. I really don't. I don't want to hear this because then I'm going to really think him and Scrappy are fucking if he continues. So please just accept it and move on.
Thank you. I think that's actually a message that a lot of people could use just in life. But she claims it was a half-assed apology from a half-sized person, which was funny. Ashley comes and sits with Zayn, and then he does some more weird shit by asking if she gonna give him some tonight. He's just a clown. He also then mentions that he wishes that Ashley was more like Rashida, and Ashley declines. And Rashida didn't like that Ashley declined and decided in the confessional to talk about her wig, talking about its giving budget. Rashida, do you realize that half of the people who shop at your store pressed are on the same budget that Ashley is on? Some of us know.
Rashida, what was wrong with her comment? Wasn't it true?
It was true.
Wasn't it true? Like, what was wrong with her comment? I feel like to me that's an insult. Don't insult me. I ain't no goddamn Rashida.
It is an insult. It absolutely is an insult. Rashida is the worst of the worst.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to be nothing like her or Yandy either. So don't be trying to like. For me, you know what? It's sad. She is. She already is. But the problem with her is it's a different element of Rashida. I don't think Rashida holds on to Kirk for the same reasons. I feel like she's groomed to never leave him no matter the circumstance.
Rashida, regardless of what's going on, is nothing to aspire to. This is not what marriage is like. This is not what marriage should be. According to the Bible, marriages like Rashida's are the types of marriages that the Lord will not put you in hell for if you decide to leave him. Adultery gives you the right to divorce. So, hey, exactly. It doesn't matter the reasons from the outside. It looks the same. It does. But I mean, you could tell that Zayn also bringing that comment up is he wants a woman that's going to be like Rashida so that he can go out and do his dirt and then still come home to a woman. That's what he wants. Because I get the feeling that Ashley is the one raising his kids with his other baby mama. I don't think that he actually does shit. He just seems like so much of a joke. But Carly reminds us that she's a licensed sexologist, which does require quite a bit of school. So good for you, Carly. And she plays this sex game with the cast, which was funny because, okay, though they are married people, Sierra and her man, they knew. Bambi and her man, new couple, they not even having sex, but I don't believe them. You got Zayn and Ashley who was on separation. So I'm like, Carly, this was not the time for a game. But she does throw some shade at Jock and Kendra. Not everyone did well in the game. but they seem to have fun. So we'll move on from there. We then learned that something went down while the cameras were not filming with the cast, and it involved Yandy and Rashida. Allegedly, Rashida went off because the issue with her and Yandy came up, and she claims that she was only loyal to and friends with Kirk. She says she don't mess with nobody on the cast. Rashida never apologized. Rashida basically got into it with Yandy really bad. Rashida claims she's not friends with anybody on the cast, and I believe her. Fucking leave. Nobody can comment on your marriage. Nobody can
we
have
know
an
who your
opinion.
real friends are. Like we already know who they are. So it's like, yeah, we knew that, Rashida. You ain't telling us something we didn't already know.
What's interesting is I thought Yandy was a part of that. I think the only reason she has
Mm-hmm.
an issue is because if it comes to choosing her husband over letting her friend in some shit, she gonna choose Kirk regardless. But I used to see them posting and on vacations, her, Candy, Yandy, Tiny. I thought that they were all close.
I've never
For
seen
years.
her with them. I never seen her in that clique. I saw her more so with Portia, Quad, and Amina T and all them. I've never seen her with them. They maybe one or two vacations, but I've never seen Yandy in that clique. I've seen Yandy in the Portia and the Quad clique.
That's how she met Portia and Quad and them, was through Candy. Because I remember years ago when Candy's cousin Akbar was on the show, that was how she was connected, because Candy and Rashida were good friends. At that time, Yandy was also close with Candy. So at some point, they were cool. I can get why Yandy would expect for them to be friends. I don't think she was as close to Yandy as she was with Portia, Candy, and the rest of them. But it's weird to me because Rashida
Mm-hmm.
is in some ways holding Yandy accountable and not defending Yandy for a situation that Yandy really wouldn't be dealing with if not for Kirk's baby mama. But it's hard also because Kirk, there would be nothing for Kirk's baby mama to say if Mendices wasn't out in the streets. And in my opinion, I'm a firm believer with rumors where there's smoke, there's fire. There wouldn't be shit for anybody to say if you wasn't outside so often without your wife.
Right.
Right, exactly.
No,
But
I know she was. That's why I'm saying. I'm not saying she was never in the clique with them, but I'm just saying Atlanta is very clique-ish. So I think in more recent time is what I'm saying is that she aligns more with, as Bitch they want to say, with the Portias and etc. We're gonna call that clique the Portias because that's Quad, Portia, Amina T, somebody else, and Shami and all them. That's one clique, and then you got the Candies, and they intermingle. They do. They intermingle a lot. But I'm saying that when we talk about the Queen Bees, like Monyetta, Toya, Tiny, and all them, Yandy is in and out. She's not consistently with that clique as she is with Portia and Quad.
I wouldn't even call those people the queen bees. But I
More
get
so, yeah, but because they all are the element that are on different reality TV shows that were considered the mains of the reality TV, like Candy, main of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Rashida, main of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
You know what they
And
have in common? They all are main people who give fucking nothing on their shows. Candy was boring. Now she's trying to come back, and nobody wants Candy back. Y'all ate me up for saying that a while ago. Nobody cares for Rashida's storyline no more because she accepts it all. Portia came on here on some bullshit and is a gold digger. And Quad needs to leave Married to Medicine, but won't. So I don't get it. But Yandy does always defend Rashida blindly. It's dumb. You cannot do that. And I think that that's the thing, regardless of a clique. If somebody is always blindly defending you, don't then throw them under the bus when they expect you to do the same thing in return. So it showed that Rashida's character is bullshit. But
it
we already
always
knew
has
this.
been. It always has been.
We already knew this. We already knew this. But I'm just like, Rashida, if you're not cool with nobody on this show, then leave. Rashida is well known and respected in Atlanta. So I don't understand why she stays. And then you have friends connected in high places, go elsewhere. But basically, for some reason, Sierra has Tilo, Carly, Rashida, and Kirk do yoga for couples. after we learned of this so-called beef that happened off camera. And I never thought I'd give Sierra credit, but she's the only one who is behaving the way couples should on a couples trip, her and her husband. They seem to like each other. He can't keep his hands off of her. They smiling. They enjoying this free trip. I'm trying to tell you, they are enjoying this trip. Everybody else was kind of the hot mess express. But they do discuss the issue with Rashida, and Rashida wasn't able to explain what Yandy did to her.
Because Yandy didn't do anything to her. That's why she can't explain it.
She's basically saying she's mad at Yandy for holding her accountable.
Yeah.
And this is stupid to me. A bitch they would have said, I don't know if she respected. I mean, they respected her enough for that damn Freaknik documentary. And every time I see something on YouTube, the little YouTube docs on Atlanta or Atlanta music, for some reason, people always ask Rashida. And I'm like, Rashida can't even rap.
It's because, no, Bubblegum happened after that. I don't know why they... Okay, now I don't know, because I was going to say, because Bubblegum was the song back in the day, because we were in middle school when that song came out.
Exactly. So, in middle school. But in middle school, 12 and 13 and 14, if you were slow and left behind. Listen, that girl can't rap. She can't. She made catchy little songs for preteens, and that's
the only thing. When I remember when Love and Hip Hop first came out, I said, "Oh, she did Bubblegum." I remember that song because it was always at our school dances. They would play that song.
It was,
yeah. So yeah,
hot mess. But yeah, I mean, at least somebody on the couple strip had fun. But Kirk and Rashida end up talking shit about Ashley and Zane some more, which threw me off as well. And then in the other bus, we see that Yandy's mad. Rashida is not behaving like a friend. She feels like she fronted as a friend for over a decade if she's talking about nobody there as her friend. And Kirk was even trying to tell Rashida, like, you wrong. Like, she worded things wrong. And then here come the Gemini, stubborn. I said what I said, and I meant what I said. Okay, Rashida. Kirk tried to help you and say, hey, she worded that wrong. She's friends with you. She's friends with this person. She's friends with that person. Because I think Kirk realized Rashida saying that caused the problem. You sitting in this chair like you and Spice are the queen bees of this show, but nobody like y'all. Y'all are not fun to watch. You lie about your relationships and you fucking settle. Spice ran off a good man because she wants to be about herself and fame. And Rashida is running to a man that ain't shit, but don't want to talk about it while being on the show. So I'm kind of over all of them. But even Bambi told Rashida, you wrong. Rashida does not care. She had the whole world tell her she was wrong to diminish K. Michelle's domestic violence. And she still reminds us she will never apologize. So... I think Rashida can go. That's how I feel. She can go. But we're going to head into our next live, you guys. I still have to do the Housewives of Beverly Hills. And then after that live, we will be on James's channel. We are behind on all of these lives. I didn't think we would even have to talk about Love and Hip Hop that long. But it happened. And I'm glad that y'all was here to watch. Feel free to comment your opinions. Link to James's channels in the description of this video. Let's get into the Housewives of Beverly Hills. Lord help us. She says she don't like Spice either. But I'll see y'all next week for our next recap. Thank you, James, and I'll see y'all later.